Well, good evening. Yeah, today I drove 100 miles. I just got done with a $10 order, I think. Yeah, I had to take a day off because I thought Instacart was dead, and basically that was the wrong phone number, and that's why I wasn't getting any batches. And I'm doing like simple orders, 18 item orders to 25 item orders, and I'm making not bad. The first one I did Walmart. That was a 53. I did that one. And then I just went and did the easy ones after that. So, yeah, 507, 5 days. That's over $100 a day. And since Monday, I've filled up my tank 2 times. And I've got over a half a tank. So, rather than doing 5 to 6 fill-ups a week, doing 2 to 3, I'm saving money doing that. So, yeah, did pretty good. Did pretty smooth today. Pretty good orders. That Walmart wasn't bad, actually. So, yeah, still the 5.0. That Sprouts store was a little bit of a pain. So here to Proposition 22. Work and when and where you want. No upper limit. Working using multiple apps. Now that might be something the state is doing. I don't understand how a job can tell you can't work another job at the same time, if that's legal or not, or if they can just put it in. I mean, that's one of my pet peeves. Oh, put whatever you want into your user term. You know what I mean? Then they can put whatever in there. You know what I mean? That drives me crazy, because you don't really have a choice if you want to drive. So, what are they going to do? No moonlighting with other companies and put it into the user terms of service, or the TOS or whatever. You know what I mean? It's limited number of drivers allowed. Must accept all trips. Even if someone's going to say, yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. And, well, then, what is Uber going to do if a driver gets hurt? They can no longer say, hey, the guy's a contractor and he chose the passenger because Uber allowed that passenger to be on the platform and forced the driver to accept all trips. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, how can you say that Uber would not be liable in that, right? I mean, seriously, if you're forcing someone to take all trips and something happens, can't really pawn it off, but I said it well beforehand. Definitely, the drivers are going to get cut because they have to pay taxes, right? So, you know what I mean? They're going to cut it, right? Time and a half issues. That's, I think, the issue about upper limit, because they're going to make sure you can't get overtime, because they're not going to pay you time and a half. So, yeah, I'm against the employee thing, because I like being a contractor. I like being able to have the choice. Because as an employee, now they can boss you around. They can tell you what your schedule's going to be, right? I mean, and that's another illusion people think. Oh, you're unfireable. You're just as fireable as an employee. It's not like you have immunity You know what I mean? It's just seriously, customer complains about safety, they can fire you in the name of safety. I mean, it's not like it's impossible to get fired. You know what I mean? People have that myth. Trust me, it's pretty easy for companies to fire their employees, especially if customer complains about speeding or whatever. Now on the app, they've detected you've gone over the speed limit. Voila, right there, right? So, therefore, I'm not fit. It's really nice to be able to just be able to take any time off. I mean, I definitely agree. There needs to be some form of regulation on the terms of service. You can't just put everything and anything in the terms of service, force everybody to agree, or you can't drive and think that's fair. I mean, seriously. I mean, there has to be something to control something of that, because what choice do you have? Well, yeah, the choice is you don't have to drive anymore. Well, if you need to drive, well, then you don't have a choice. I mean, that's I guess, so I don't know. I think that people like the idea of people that are earning money on their own. Not to say that we're making $1 million. I think people are on the side of that. I don't think people are really on the side of this socialistic idea that some of these politicians are on. Like Cortez and Gonzalez. You know what I mean? It's just, they got elected. You know what I mean? And someone talks about being taxed a huge amount if you're rich, well, people are voting for it because they don't believe that they'll ever be rich. So yeah, screw the rich, because they don't believe they'll ever be that way. You know what I mean? But you don't have to be rich. I was working overtime at the college, and I saw the huge percentage of money that went out of my check. It was pretty bad. It's pretty unbelievable. Just 47%. I had a $3,280 check, $3,240 I think it was gross, and I only was able to take $1,840. It's pretty bad. You know what I mean? That's a lot of work, and have nearly half of your check taken from the state. What's going to be different? If you're working for Uber, they're definitely not going to want to pay you time and a half. But see, if they did, then basically, you know what I mean? Then you might as well just do Uber and then do some work on the side off the table. That's pretty much what you need to do to make money. And once you get into W-2 or whatever tax situation, those deductions. Now, when it comes to my deductions, I definitely never cheat on that. I can verify with my credit card that I've purchased everything, even though I guess they don't accept that, but I showed my tax guy that. So I know that I'm not cheating on that. Yeah, don't want to go to jail. So, yeah, I'm not good at receipts, but yeah, I'm not a liar about that. I just, I don't want to go to jail. You know what I mean? I don't want to bend the rules and go to prison. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just, I like freedom. It's one thing, not having to worry about the hours, the capped hours. A lot of people got into the 8-gig workspace because they needed to. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. They're not really that clear about what's going to happen. Like, are you going to just You're going to have to fill out a W-4 or whatever, right? Like, what are you going to claim? Probably going to be like Amazon, right? Blocks that you can work. Then you're going to be kept track of your hours, right? But yeah, the time and a half. They're going to have to control all that in order to keep their expenses down. So, what does that mean? I mean, just because you're an employee doesn't mean that Uber will be forced to fix your car. Now, that's one thing for sure. If Uber gives you money towards the operating of the car, then you can't claim that 58 cents a mile because they've given you money towards the operating of the car, and that's a fact. And you might not like that, because then Uber can claim all the miles, and maybe they can be like, well, you have to go to our people in order to get your car maintained or whatever. And then, yeah, I don't know. So, I'm definitely not a fan of becoming a union employee. I've worked at that college, really, the union really is good. I mean, it was. People there, a lot of people there that were there called out sick a lot. Of course, I'm not going to name names or whatever. I'm not going to even name the place. But yeah, it was amazing how many times some of the people there would repeatedly call out sick and not get fired. So, I mean, obviously, it's a union place. And of course, yeah, that's definitely, but really, it only really worked for the O1s versus the O3s. The O3s didn't have the insurance like the O1s, so then you had a small percentage of the O1s that were good. Well, the others, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not a good idea. Like, one time, I was working in the back in the kitchen, and there was a guy that was an O1 who worked the same station that I was. And I guess he wanted to work the back. And this guy was kind of a clown and kind of a goofball, kind of stupid, you know what I mean? But yet, and I happened to walk by and overheard the supervisor telling him that, oh yeah, Joseph's out back helping out so-and-so, one of the cooks back there. Then I'm like, well, to myself, oh, why? What is it of anybody's business to talk to the boss about what a coworker's doing? But I guess in a union job, if you're an O1 tiered and you have seniority and you want to be somewhere, I guess you can file a kind of, I didn't say anybody filed a grievance against me or whatever, but I guess in that line of thinking, I guess they can be like, hey man, this person's relatively new and I want back there, whatever, and why ain't I back there? Because I have seniority, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of weird, I don't know. That's one thing that I like about the e-gig work, is that other than the price that's set, you get what you put into it. It's not because you're special that that you're liked. You put the effort in, you earn the money. It's not, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, and DoorDash sent me an email saying that I'm on tiered status. Did I actually screenshot that? No, I didn't. But yeah, they said that since I have met all the specs, the number of deliveries and the rating and everything, that during slow times I will be prioritized. I can sign on whenever. I don't have to wait for a block. Not that I ever had a problem with that, actually, to be honest with you. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna stick out this Instacart. So far, so good. 100 miles. 100 miles. Yeah, 508 this week. 100 miles for 153. It's not bad. That's over $1 a mile. It's like $1.50 a mile. It's pretty good efficiency right there. I kind of drove all over the place today, but I was up in Palos Verdes. I started off at Walmart in Lakewood. Then I delivered to San Pedro. Then I shopped San Pedro, delivered to San Pedro, and then I shopped in Torrance, I believe, and delivered to Palos Verdes again, and then Manhattan Beach, and then back to Lakewood to Long Beach, I believe. Yeah, so a little bit of trip traveling, but not bad. So I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you.